Think about the last time you felt instantly attracted to someone. If someone asked you why, you would probably list a dozen logical reasons. You might say it's their smile, their confidence, their sense of humor, or how they treat others. We like to believe that attraction is a conscious choice. We write poetry about it. We make movies about it. We treat it like a magical, invisible connection between two souls. But what if all of that is just a comforting lie? What if your conscious mind is completely out of the loop? Behind the poetry and the romance, there is a cold, calculating prehistoric supercomputer running inside your skull, and it doesn't care about a person's favorite movie or their sense of humor. Before you even say hello, your brain has already scanned them, run a complex mathematical equation, and made a decision for you. You are not choosing who you fall for. You are simply following a biological algorithm that was programmed into your DNA over 100,000 years ago. To understand why your brain does this, we have to travel back in time. Imagine the world of our ancient ancestors. It wasn't a world of dating apps and cozy coffee shops. It was a brutal, unforgiving environment. In the ancient wild, making a bad choice in a partner didn't just mean a bad date. It meant the end of your bloodline, extinction. For early humans, the primary goal of life was survival and reproduction. But humans have a unique problem. Human babies are born incredibly helpless. They require years of intense energy, protection, and resources to survive. This meant our male ancestors needed a way to instantly identify which female was healthy enough to carry a child and strong enough to survive the brutal conditions of the prehistoric world. But they didn't have medical records. They couldn't run blood tests to check hormone levels. Evolution had to create a visual cheat code, a physical signal so powerful and undeniable that it could be spotted from across a field in a fraction of a second. Your brain evolved to become a highly specialized scanner looking for one very specific mathematical ratio. Scientists and evolutionary psychologists call it the WHR, the waist-to-hip ratio. When you divide the circumference of the waist by the circumference of the hips, you get a number. And across countless studies, spanning different cultures, continents, and isolated tribes, one specific number consistently triggers the male brain's reward center, 0.7. Why 0.7? Is it just a random standard of beauty invented by society? Not at all. It is pure, brutal biology. A waist-to-hip ratio of 0.7 is a direct, unfakeable indicator of a woman's estrogen levels. It signals optimal reproductive age, peak fertility, and high genetic health. But it gets even deeper. The specific type of fat stored in the hips and thighs contains high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are the exact building blocks required for the rapid brain development of a human baby. When a modern man looks at a woman, his conscious mind might be admiring her fashion sense. But his ancient primitive brain is scanning that ratio, screaming, "Genetic health confirmed. Survival of offspring secured." The brain locks on. It releases a massive dose of dopamine. It hijacks your emotions. It creates what we call attraction. But wait, you might say, don't beauty standards change? If you look at Renaissance paintings, the women were heavier. In the 1990s, the supermodel look was incredibly thin. Today, the athletic build is popular. Doesn't society dictate what is attractive? Here is the mind-bending truth. While overall body weight preferences absolutely change based on culture and food availability, the underlying ratio remains incredibly stable. Whether a society prefers heavier figures or thinner figures, the most desired silhouette within that weight class always gravitates back toward that ancient mathematical proportion. The 0.7 ratio cuts through cultural conditioning like a biological laser beam. It is hardwired into the visual cortex of the human species. Today, we live in a world of supernormal stimuli. Social media, cosmetic surgery, and digital filters have learned how to hack this ancient algorithm. We are constantly feeding our prehistoric brains exaggerated versions of these fertility signals. It leaves modern humans feeling inadequate, constantly comparing themselves to mathematical extremes that rarely exist in nature. We are a modern species, walking around with 100,000-year-old software. The next time you feel an instant, inexplicable pull towards someone, remember, you are not just experiencing a modern romance. You are feeling the echo of your ancestors, fighting for survival on the ancient savannah, mathematically calculating the future of humanity in the blink of an eye. Welcome to Wily AI. Master your evolutionary glitches. Subscribe now, because the truth is always dark.